Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So I need help. I went from zero debt in January 23 to $54,000 in April 24. Ooh. I was trapped in this abusive relationship that I was hospitalized and arrested for fighting back, but I'm out of that now.
Oh my gosh,
I was in survival.
Patricia.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
I was in survival. Thank you. I was in survival mode, so I signed up for a debt relief company, and I trusted them. But now that I'm able to take a look at what's going on, I see that they're taking all their fees up front. They're barely paying my creditors, and I have to respond to my second lawsuit by next week.
Oh, my gosh.
I also found expired DocuSigns that I never saw they would expire really quickly. And so I don't know what they've negotiated. I know they've negotiated about $36,000 of it, and there's still the rest of it's outstanding. And I did pay off my first lawsuit privately.
So the companies that they stopped paying are suing you, right? You stopped paying your debts, and the money that you sent, they weren't paying it. So is that who's suing you? Your creditors?
Well, there were like 12 or 13 cards altogether. So they've settled with some of them, but the ones that they just wouldn't accept waiting in line, they're the ones suing me. Yeah.
That's
so
right.
like I said, I've paid off one, and yeah.
How much have you given them, the debt relief company?
Hey, George here in the control booth, and I bet you're wondering what they're going to say next. Get out of debt, sell the horse, yada, yada, yada. The advice may be predictable, but the internet is anything but. You see, your personal info is out there, up for grabs by shady companies ready to add more scam and spam to your life. And that's why I use Delete Me. Delete Me will scrub your data from all of these sites so that you can focus on The Ramsey Show instead of who's buying and selling your info. And Ramsey fans get 20% off at joindeleteme.com/Ramsey or by using the link in the description below. So go take control of your privacy as soon as this call is over.
How much have you given them, the debt relief company, to start?
I have given them $7,000, over $7,000, and $4,000 of that has gone to their fees. Only $3,000 has gone to my creditors. And I did find that when they settle, what's considered settling is when they negotiate a settlement and make the first payment, then they're eligible to take all their fees, which is 25% of my enrolled debt.
I'm sorry. I mean, you're finding out what's absolutely true, which is these places are a scam. And I hate that you're finding that out the hard way. Do you know what it will take to get... Like, how can you get out of this? Have you kind of researched what it would take for you to get out? Will you be dinged if you say, listen, I don't want to pay any more into this. I don't want to do this anymore. What's their policy on that?
Well, the contract, they say I can end any time. So that's why I figure they're padding their fees up front in case I do decide to end.
Yeah, you're right.
But I the one that I want to settle right now, because I do have some money to settle the second lawsuit, but I tried to call them directly, and they won't talk to me because of the power of attorney. So the company won't call me back either. And so when I called them this morning, they said, there's no update except we got the power of attorney. And I'm like, no, stop. I don't want them to settle with them.
Well, you have to cancel. It sounds like you have to cancel your agreement with the debt relief place first so that they're not signing and making decisions for you. So I feel like that's first in line. First in line is getting documentation that I'm no longer part of this program. I'm not giving them any more money, and I have my power of attorney back so they can no longer sign for me. So I'd want that first. I'd want documentation of that, not just over the phone, right? And then after that, then you can really do for yourself what they were saying, quote, they were going to do for you, which is, at this point, because there has been no payments made on this debt, they're going to be ready to settle, and you should be able to do that.
Okay. But they said they want to talk to me. And so do you think I have time before, because I have to respond to the summons by next Tuesday? Do you think I would have
How much do you owe? How much do you owe for the ones that are suing you?
So the ones that suing me they want like $4,500, but I enrolled $3,800 with them in April. I did just pay off one lawsuit, and they were wanting $3,800, and I settled that for $20,000.
And you got that in writing? That's in writing, the first one you paid off?
Yeah. So what I would say, Patricia, is this $4,500. I don't want to give you the wrong advice, but from what I have gathered over the years of doing this show and talking to people, It's $4,500. They say it expires on Tuesday. If it takes you another week to get out of the debt settlement, you call them back.
They'll give you another
10
deal.
days later, they're there. They just want the money. I mean, at this point too, with debt settlement, you haven't paid them for so long. They're lucky to get anything, right? I mean, at this point, and how these companies work too. These debts are sold so many different times. They've gone through 3 different companies. I mean, they're not really keeping track. There's a level of intimidation always with them, whether they're on the phone or through mail. And so, I mean, some of it is legit, right? I mean, they can, but I really think, Patricia, if you take all of next week to get out of the debt settlement, and it takes you a couple of days, and for them to email over paperwork like what Jade's saying and have documentation that you are really out, then I would call this company back and show them and tell them, hi, I had a document. I'm a few days late, but I have $3,800. I can pay you and just settle this now. They're going to take your money. They will take it. So I wouldn't be, I would be on it. I would be urgent about all of this because I want you out as soon as possible. But I wouldn't let their timeline be the one that's dictating all this either.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, Rachel, a lot of it's fear tactics and you going, oh my gosh, they're suing me. Oh my gosh, I have a timeline. Oh my gosh, if I don't. And Rachel is exactly right. You'll have the opportunity to make a deal again.
Well, I have to reply to the summons by next week, because if I don't reply to the summons, then they'll make a judgment against me.
And what do you, what's the reply? What's the process of that? What does that mean?
I have to go to the courthouse and file a response. It costs $250. That's what I did the first time.
So could your response be, well, there's 2 things happening here. A, you're concerned about filing the response, which is next week, right? What day?
Yes.
What day?
It's the 13th.
The 13th.
Yeah.
I don't know what day is that. Is that Tuesday?
It's like Wednesday.
Okay.
Wednesday,
so you have 2 business days to try to get out of this. And if you can, then you can apply, go to the court summons and say, I just got out of the debt consolidation. I have the money here and I'm ready, right? That's one response. The other response is, I've been trying to get out of this debt consolidation and I have record of me trying to call and pay this and they have not taken my payment. But I have the money. I have the check here. I'm happy to pay it today, right? So there is part of this where you might have to plead your case on that. And that's why it's so important to document everything you're doing. I called them on this day at this time, and they have to record those calls too. I called them at this day and this time. So you just do your due diligence on making sure you're keeping record of everything, and then show up at the summons with wherever you're at in life. I've just filed the paperwork, or I'm waiting to hear back on them, and just take it one day at a time, because I think you're freaking out a little bit about what may or may not happen. And if you have the money and you're saying, Judge, I want to do this, I don't think the judgment's going to be against you. I think they'll be fair on that.
Right. So how would I go about revoking the power of attorney? Do I need to get a lawyer to do that, or can I do it myself? Do you know? I
don't think so. I mean, it sounds like whenever you signed up for this debt relief, part of the papers you signed said, and you guys can speak for me and sign for me and all of that. And so it should be that when you get out of this.
Yeah, revoked along with the entire agreement. Yeah, for both. Oh, Patricia, I'm so sorry. You know, you've gotten yourself out of a lot worse situation than this. So you can do this for sure. You can do this. It's going to take some time, but we hope that helps. We're cheering you on.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.